Changing the period of a trig function. Doesn't matter what trig function you're working with. I'm going to start with cosine. So I have this cosine that does this. Boom. Period is going to be 2 pi. If I want to change that period, if I want to make it shorter, it all comes off of your angle. So if I have y equals cosine x, the way it stands, the period would be 2 pi. How you manipulate the period, the cycle between the curve repeating itself, is by looking at the coefficient of your angle. Example, if I said y equals cosine 2x, in order to determine the period, I would go 2 pi divided by that coefficient. So I divide it by 2, and that would give me the period. In this case, the period would become pi, because you could cancel the 2's out. And what it would do for my picture, at pi, that would now force this behavior to all occur before pi. And so it just shrinks this repetition of the curve. So instead of being here, it would move it there, and I'd have that up, down, back up, all before pi. Now, for changing the period of the trig function, if you know what you want it to be, so let's start all over. Let's say I wanted the period to be 10 units. I want it to be 10 units. I don't want the pi in there. I'm going to use this same concept. I know that I'll take 2 pi, divide. Now this time my variable would be down here. So I'm going to call this c for coefficient, and I want the result to be 10. As I solve this, I'll take the c up and I'll divide by 10. So I can say 2 pi divided by 10 equals c. And of course when I reduce that, that becomes pi over 5. Now if pi over 5 is my coefficient, when I write the equation I can say y equals cosine of pi over 5 x. That changes that period to reflect the 10 units. And that means if I were to redraw this, and I actually counted out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, instead of being at 2 pi, this would now have the cyclic behavior. It would repeat at 10 instead of 2 pi. And that's how you do that. It's just that coefficient right there. Every time you want to change that, you're going to use this formula right here. 2 pi divided by your coefficient equals your period. So if you know what your period wants to be, you put the number there, and then you just solve that simple equation. That gives you pi over 5. That's the number you want to have put into your equation. Hopefully this helps when we're looking at changing the period of trig functions.